Well, good evening, champions. How you guys doing tonight? So happy to have you here. I just want to start off with this, you guys. If you guys have been here for all 8 weeks, which I see some of you on here, like Ron and Jeffrey, um, I just saw Raquel pop on here as well. For you that have been here for 8 weeks, or if you've been on this virtually for 8 weeks, or you're watching this eighth training in a row, I see you. If you're here virtually and you're watching this recording, I don't have those kind of skills, but I still see you. And I respect you. And most importantly, you are proving to yourself, most importantly, that you're committed to becoming the person that it takes to create the life you want. Because this is what life is all about, is proving to yourself and nobody else that you can become the person that you've always wanted to become. And I want you guys to take a look around. Whether you're here live or catching the replay, you made it. And you didn't make it to the finish line, right? Because I don't ever think there's a finish line. Success and failures, there's never a finish line for me. If I failed and I got to the finish line, it's not the finish line for me, but to the threshold of something that is greater for you. This plan, you guys, is just a strategy. It's a life recalibration. It's a call to rise. It's a challenge to move with purpose in your life. And it's a challenge to trade in distraction for discipline. There's so much distraction out there, you guys. This, your computers, your television, Netflix, all the problems that your friends have, there's so many distractions. But if you have discipline in your life, that distraction can go away very easily. And I want you guys to get serious about the business of building your legacy. That's what this 90-day massive action plan is all about. And legacy means a lot of different things to different people. Legacy is not just about checking boxes. Legacy is about transformation. It's where you started and where you go. And that's internal and external. Listen, we can transform ourselves internally, especially this right here. And our bodies we could transform as well. But it starts right here. We have to transform our mental, our emotional, and our financial. Those are the things that are really, really important, you guys. You showed up here for a reason. You committed to becoming the person who no longer makes excuses, but makes moves. And that's what you have to keep doing. So, this is your recap. This is your reminder, your reset, a blueprint built on 10 non-negotiables that, if it's mastered, I promise you it will change the trajectory of your life and your business forever. And not just this business. I mean, the goal is this business can help you start other businesses, and then you could change other people's lives. And so, the 10 things that we talked about, I just want to recap those real quickly tonight before we get to you. I want you guys to be able to ask questions and share. And that is defining your why was the first one we talked about. And a lot of people talk about why, and it can be hokey sometimes, but your why is really, really important because without a strong why, the how doesn't even matter, right? A lot of people want to know how to do something. It's cool if you know how to do something, but if your why is not strong, you're not going to do the how. You're going to quit. You're going to shrink when it gets tough. You're going to blame people for it and say, oh, it just didn't work out because this, that, and the other. My team, I didn't recruit great people. The product didn't work on some people. But when you have your why dialed in, deep, deep in your soul, it becomes your anchor on the hard days, on the days you feel like giving up, and it's going to fuel you on the good ones. And I challenge you guys not to make it just emotional. I'm sorry, I challenge you guys to make it emotional, not just money. Emotional drives you. Money drives you, and then you make more, and then it stops driving you because you have the money that you wanted. But if your why is emotional, it's going to drive you. Money's not going to drive you. Okay? If you want to be free and that's your why, that could drive you. But if it's emotional, that's going to drive you. The freedom to spend time with my family because I love my kids and I love my family, that's emotional. But who are you fighting for? And the question I always ask this to a lot of my friends that are going through tough times, who's going to lose if you don't win? When I see my friends struggling, I ask them, who's going to lose if you don't win? Your kids? Because they're watching you. And if they see you constantly losing, they're going to just think that's normal. If you're losing and you're not able to do the things you want to do with them, that's what they're going to remember. And your why is the root system of your life tree. Without it, you're going to collapse under pressure. Because listen, there is always going to be lots of pressure. Lots. But when I feel pressure, I always remember what my mentor taught me. And you guys have heard this before. Pressure is a privilege. When you have pressure, it's a privilege to have that pressure. Because with it, you're going to thrive in chaos. Chaos means you have to solve problems. People that solve problems make money. If you're not solving anything, then you're not going to get paid. If you're not solving how you can take your people on your team to another level, you're not going to make more money. If you're not solving how you can present this business better, you're not going to make more money. Your why isn't just about what you want, it's about who you are becoming. It's about the people who benefit when you win. They don't have to benefit just monetarily. They can benefit by seeing you win. They can benefit by seeing you happy. They can benefit what winning looks like. It's about the pain you've decided to no longer accept in your life. You know, I had a thought the other day. I might have shared it with you guys last week. And it's thinking, comfortable and uncomfortable. Well, you're uncomfortable either way. You think about it. If you're comfortable, you're still uncomfortable because you don't have the things that you want in your life. So either if you're comfortable, you're still uncomfortable because you're not doing the things or getting the things that you want in your life. So you're uncomfortable either way. So why not just live uncomfortable because you're going to eventually be at a point where you're getting and living the life that you want. It's about becoming the protector of your future, not the prisoner of your past. I don't care what's happened in your past. We talked about this. It doesn't matter what you haven't accomplished or what someone said or all the failure you have. It does not matter. You're not a prisoner of your past. When you truly lock into your why, the distractions will start to shrink. The fear will lose power, and you become absolutely unshakable. The second thing we talked about was defining your success snowflake. We talked about how success is personal. Don't compare your success to anybody else because your success is not mine and mine is not yours. Your success snowflake is your unique blueprint. If you're going after my success, you're not going to stick with it very long because it doesn't speak to you. My grandfather always told me, be careful what you ask for. If you want my success, are you willing to do what I'm doing every single day? Are you willing to go through all the failure? Because I've gone through lots and lots and lots of failure. I have failed way, 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 way more than I've ever succeeded in my life. But that's why I'm having success more often now because of all the failures. Your unique blueprint that includes lifestyle, impact, income, and legacy that feels meaningful to you. And without having that clarity, you guys, you're going to end up chasing someone else's dream. And so we want to make sure that your vision is based on, it's not based on comparison, but it's based on your conviction. There's a huge difference. My father always used to say to me when I would want something that my friends had or my neighbors had or somebody at school had, he was like, we're not, you want to be like the Joneses. We're not the Joneses. So if you're comparing yourself to other people, you're going to always feel like you're failing. But if you're convicted to what you want to accomplish, you're going to go to the heights that you want to go. Your success has to be yours, not your uplines, not your mentors, not the influencers on Instagram. That's all fake. That's not, projecting anything that's real in life. It's got to be authentic. We call it your success snowflake because it's personal, it's unique, and it's detailed. What does your dream day look like? I'll tell you what my dream day looks like. I live it every single day. I wake up in the morning, I read, I meditate, I ground, I go for a walk, I go to the gym. It's all about me starting my day that way. And then I have an amazing day. What type of impact do you want to leave? What kind of income lets you breathe and lets you live fully? What is that income where you can be like, right, I'm good. This part isn't optional, you guys. It's the GPS Without this, you're driving with a blindfold on. And then we talked about core values, your internal compass, your values. You run everything through these values, every decision. Because when you decide what you stand for, decisions will become easier for you. You stop chasing everything and you start aligning with what really matters in your life. This is how you build a brand and a business rooted in authenticity. People know you, they know what your core values are, they know that you're not going to ever go against them. Because people trust people who live their values and not just talk about them, they see them. Like my wife said something to me the other day. Like she was like, yeah, I was talking about people being a man of the word. She was like, listen, there is one thing, you are a man of your word. There is never a time where I will tell somebody I will do something and not do it. I went on a trip to Nashville to play golf because I told people I would do it 3 months ago, and the time came and I really did not feel like going. I mean, I have a lot of golf courses in Florida, but I said I was going to be there, and I showed up. There was another event in Vegas. I really didn't want to go to that event, but I said I was going to be there. So I had to show up for that event. Your values are your internal CEO. They guide every single decision when everything else feels foggy in that moment. It's like, do these pass through my core values? If yes, then it's a yes. If no, it's a no. Because when you move with aligned values, you move a lot faster in your life. You move with certainty. You stop compromising for acceptance. You stop selling out for short-term gains. I'm telling you, get those core values, understand those core values, and run every single decision personally with your kids, with your husband, with your friends, with your business, and watch how easy it is to make decisions. So we dug deep into it and uncovered what actually matters to you. Family, excellence, freedom, faith, health, service, whatever it is, we committed to making decisions that serve those values instead of sacrificing them. And then all this stuff that we're talking about, we talked about recruiting accountability partners in our last meeting. Because success is built in a community, not in isolation. When you're in isolation, you're making promises to yourself. We know we can let ourselves off the hook very, very easily. We challenge you guys to build a circle that calls you out and they call you up. That's what you need. You can't do this alone, you guys. You can't. I promise you. You need people in your corner who will push on you, who will challenge you. And when you're making an excuse, they're going to call you out on it. And they're going to remind you who the hell you are when life tries to make you forget it. Because it will. Because it's really easy to give up. It's really easy to throw the hands in the air. It's really easy to say something's not working. And it's not about finding cheerleaders. It's about finding warriors, co-warriors, people who respect you enough to who you respect enough to let you call them out when you're slacking. You don't need cheerleaders. You need allies. People who remind you of your standard when you're slipping. We're all going to slip, you guys. I do it. My wife does it. Everyone does it. I don't care who you are. It could happen. And these partners, they know your goals and they're not going to let you play small because you've given them the right to not allow you to play small. And this isn't accountability out of guilt. This is accountability out of vision, out of love, out of a deep desire to become your best and help others do the same. Because I want you to become accountability partners. I want you to do the same. I want you to pass this on. I want you to pay this forward. And then we talked about making the daily decision when we get out of bed in the morning every single day to do the work, especially when you don't feel like it. Because this is the thing 95% of the time, Monica, you're not going to feel like it. I never feel like going to the gym, ever. There's not one day that I'm like, rock on, let's go. I can't wait to go work out and destroy my body. Never. And not once in my life. I never enjoyed it, but I knew why I was doing it. And motivation, you guys, is a myth. It's a myth. Motivation is temporary. Zig Ziglar said it best. Motivation is like taking a bath. You got to do it every single day. You got to get motivated every single day. Inspiration is something that comes from the inside. It comes from consistency. It comes from discipline. It comes from repetition. It comes from little wins. Everyone wants to win big. Everyone wants to win big and fast. Big and fast leaves big and fast. Your life today is the byproduct of the decisions that you've made consistently over the last year, the last 5 years, the last 10 years. And if you're going to be successful, you got to make decisions that are going to change things consistently, not occasionally. Every single day you wake up, you guys, you have two choices every day. Am I going to drift or am I going to decide today to do something different? And we talked about how discipline is a decision, not a feeling. Discipline's a decision. Every day, am I going to go work out? And greatness is forged in those daily unseen decisions. The people that we see are great. We don't see the daily decision every single day that they get up and make the grind and make things happen in their life. We just see the glory. We never see the story. And some days you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel uninspired. You're going to feel unmotivated. But again, I'm going to go back to that why. If it's strong enough, you're going to show up anyways. That's the first step, you guys. Show up. Get in the gym. You know, when I was writing a book, I remember my mentor that was, coaching me through writing the book, every day would call and check on me. Are you writing? Are you writing? Are you writing? Are you writing? And a lot of days when I first started, I was like, no, I'm just not inspired. It's just I'm not there. I feel like I have a writer's block. And he was like, I want you to just write. I don't care what it is. I don't care what comes out on the computer screen. Just write. Write what you're feeling. Think about a topic. It might be crap, but tomorrow when you come back, you might change and there might be something that comes out. But I just showed up. And it maybe took me a little longer because I was uninspired, but it would have taken me a long time if I did nothing. And on those days that I did show up, and I didn't feel like being there, I will tell you, it built character. It built resilience, it built momentum, which then turned to impetus with my book, and I got it done a lot faster. That's what you have to do in life with everything, you guys. Your workout, your health, your marriage, your kids, your friendships. Number six, we talked about putting a morning routine and a nightly routine in place. I don't know how well you guys have done with that. I'd like for you guys to share with me after this. But this is the biggest thing that changed my life. It changed my life more than anything. Getting up in the morning and meditating and reading and getting that morning light and grounding, journaling, having that family time, turning my phone off at 7 at night, not because they're just cute little habits to create, but because they prime my energy. They stack my vibration. You guys understand, like whenever you run into someone and they seem like they're not nice or there's someone that you don't connect with, there's two reasons you don't connect with a human being and out in public or you're having a bad experience. And there's two reasons and two reasons only. Because most human beings are not bad, but they either have bad energy or their vibration is just really off. And you have no idea what's going on in their life. You have no clue if they're going through a divorce, if they're going through a sickness with their kids or themselves, whatever. And we are really, really quick to judge and be like, wow, that person's a really big a-hole. But what I want you to do is just sit back from that person and just try to change your energy with them and make sure your energy and your vibration is always at the top because you could change people's day by just having a good vibration, having a good energy. And if you just focus on yourself to make sure you have that energy and that vibration every single day, you're going to walk into your day like a weapon and you're going to meet people and people are going to want to know it. Like I got on a plane last Thursday and I sat down with this guy and he had a great energy immediately. And I don't normally talk to people on the plane because I'm busy and I'm working. And he immediately starts talking to me. And within 20 seconds, this guy tells me he was a heroin addict 12 years ago. And I just, I just started asking questions and started like learning. And he's like massively successful, multimillionaire 12 years later, started, a health insurance company, started a rehab company, started like all these different things. And the reason that he has created success is because he's so grateful for the life that he has now versus him living on the streets, from the age of 16 to 26 years old. He's 38 years old. He got clean at 26. And he's so grateful for that. His vibration, his energy just resonates out into the world. Instead of being a victim of what happened to him, he is now a victor of what happened to him, and he's leading and helping other people. And that's what you got to think about. How can you change other people's life? You got to get tactical and you got to start focusing on yourself. You got to protect the first and last 60 minutes of your day like your life depends on it, because I promise you it does. Morning routines like sun exposure and journaling and reading and movement and meditation, they program your frequency and your vibration before the world tries to shape it for you, because it will. Most people wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and look at this thing. They check their emails. They check their Instagram DMs. They check their Facebook DMs. And the world just starts to destroy you because you start seeing everyone's great life and you're waking up tired and not in a great place. Evening routines like doing a digital detox, gratitude, reflecting on the day, family connection. These set the tone for recovery in your sleep, your peace, your subconscious direction when you go to bed. You guys, you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. And what we've done over these last 8 weeks is we've built systems. Every successful business and person has systems that they live and die by. Number 7, we talked about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. We leaned into discomfort. It's scary. Discomfort is scary, but it's probably exactly where you need to go. Because growth does not live in comfort. I promise you, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. Because discomfort is the exact doorway that you need to walk through, because it's the doorway to everything you say that you want. So we trained you to stop avoiding it and start inviting it. We redefined fear as the signal that you're on the edge of evolution. Comfort zones are invisible prisons, you guys. When you're comfortable, you're in a prison. And every single breakthrough in your life will require you breaking out of prison. I promise. I've been in prison, and I hate that feeling of being in prison. That prison of no money, that prison of no freedom, that prison of being controlled. We rewired your relationships with discomfort. Instead of resisting it, you learn to chase it. Because the people who succeed most are not the ones with less fear. I promise you. They're the ones who have trained themselves to act in spite of it. Your future lives in the uncomfortable conversations, the chicken list that you have, the person that you haven't talked to in a while because your relationship went awry and you really want to reconnect with them, the scary investments, the big asks of people, the stretched capacity. So get addicted to the feeling, get addicted to that feeling, get addicted to that feeling, because it's a compass pointing you towards growth. And then 8, we talked about, which is one that I have a lot of conversations with my friends about, and that is the victim mentality. We confronted the inner victim, the one that makes excuses, that blames others, that waits for someone to rescue them. We crushed that version of you guys and we replaced it with ownership. Own it. Own it with power, with truth, because you are the creator, not the casualty. Victims wait, leaders build. I hope we killed the victim. I hope we killed the voice that says it's not fair. I can't. It's too late. They didn't support me. And I hope we replace it with a power, with responsibility, with ownership, because that's what's going to take you where you want to go. Because the minute you stop blaming other people, when you stop blaming your past, when you stop blaming your upline, or your lack of time or energy, you're going to become dangerous and you're going to become a creator. You cannot build a kingdom, an empire, while thinking like a captive. And then nine, we talked about the unrealistic expectations of others. And I know if you really listen to this, this one hit home for many of you. We talked about how most frustration comes from unmet expectations and unspoken expectations, or you thinking other people can read your mind. And especially when they're unspoken and unfair. We release the need to expect people to show up the way you would. Instead, we took full ownership of our expectations of ourselves and let go of that emotional roller coaster that comes from over attaching to others' performance. When you want someone to do something for you and they don't do it when you want them to do it, you can't have a reaction because all the suffering doesn't come from reality, you guys. It comes from unmet, unspoken, and unrealistic expectations that you have on your husband, you have on your kids, you have on your friends, you have on your business partners, you have on your mom, you have on your dad, you have on God. We got to stop outsourcing our peace to other people's behavior. We can't. It's not about you all the time. Who you need to focus on is you and you keeping your promises to yourself. We need to take a radical responsibility for our energy and our focus. People are going to fail you, and they're going to fail you every single day. That's not the problem. The problem is expecting people to be you. Because leadership is loving people right where they are, but not lowering your standard to match their inconsistency. So drop the expectations for others and live into the expectations that you have and make sure you always are a man of your word to yourself. And then last but not least, we lean into failure because failure is something that just destroys people. And we rebranded failure. Failure is feedback. It's the tuition that you pay for mastery. If you're not failing, you guys, you're playing small. You're hiding, you're avoiding growth. Fail fast, fail forward, and fail out loud. Tell everyone about the failures because you're going to teach people what not to do. Then pick up the lesson and keep moving. We ended with one of the most liberating lessons of all. Failure is the tuition you pay for greatness. All the greats, all of them. Michael Jordan got cut his junior year of high school. Ended up being, in my opinion, I know there's a battle about this, but the GOAT. Two three-peats. He might not have as many points as LeBron James, but LeBron James has been playing since he was like 16 years old in the league. Like Michael Jordan retired when he was 34 years old. But you got to flip the script on failure. You got to stop hiding from it. You got to start harvesting it. And you got to make it safe to yourself to fail forward. You only lose, you guys, when you quit, when you stop. And you're going to regret what you never attempted. If you give up on this business after a year or two, you give up on a marriage after 3 or 4 years, you're going to regret it. How hard did you fight for it? And you only succeed when you're willing to fail more than most people are willing to even try. I'm proud of all my failures. I'm proud of all my bad decisions because it made me who I am today. It helped me learn to lean in and lean in hard. So what I want to do now is I want to give you guys time for anything that you want more clarification on, any specific questions you may have, any area that you may be struggling with that you didn't understand or you want help with or some consulting with or some, training with. Like this time is all about you. I mean, this is why I did this extra class is kind of do a recap to kind of bring it all together. But one of my favorite things that I've done in these trainings, and I used to do these in person, is just, people really just kind of exposing their biggest fears, things that they're having a hard time overcoming. Not necessarily just about the business, but if you want to ask me a question about the business, what you're struggling with, that's fine. But just in life in general, I want to help you break through some of the, you know, things that you have conversations with yourself about that I know aren't true and how to overcome those. Because I want to make sure at the end of this time is about you. So don't be worried to ask and that I'm going to judge or someone else is going to judge on here because this is what I tell you about people to judge. Not to be vulgar, but I just give people a middle finger when they judge because there's only one person that I know that judges, and that's when you die, and that's God. He's going to judge you based on the life that you lived and how well you did that. But anybody else to judge don't have a right to judge. And most of the people that judge, I don't really care about because they're not paying me any kind of money, and they don't mean anything to me. So no one's going to judge you here. I promise you, there's not a question or there's not something that you're going to share with me or on here that's going to be stupid or I think is going to be silly. What I will tell you, if you want to help people, your question or your share is probably what other people are feeling or thinking, or the people that are going to watch this later are going to be like, I'm so glad that person shared, and they're going to connect with you. So also, if you have any wins, if you got some wins you want to share about something that you've learned on here, you can also share those as well. So I just want to leave this time for the next, 15 minutes or so for you guys to do that. So I know some people are afraid to talk on camera. I get it. But you're not going to grow in life if you're fearful of, someone judging you or fear to talk on camera. So unmute yourself. Let's have a conversation, ask a question, share, tell me your struggle, tell me your fear, and let me walk you through it and let me help you with some of the experience that I've had. So who would like to do that? I know Rita wants to. I can see it on her face. Come on, Rita. I feel your energy. Get us started. Raquel, Monica, go ahead, Rita.
Hola con todos, hola
Hi,
Jay,
everyone.
gracias.
Hi,
Gracias
Jay.
por este
Thank you.
espacio,
Thank
de
you for
verdad
this space.
para
Truthfully,
mí es muy
for
importante
me, it's
porque
really
puedes
important
conocer lo
because
que nosotros
you
sentimos. En mi caso,
get to know what we
es
feel. In my
el no
case,
avanzar, el
it's
es
that I'm
sentir que estoy
stuck.
estancada
It's
en
feeling
algo
that I
y no
can't
puedo
move forward
avanzar.
with
No sé qué
something.
debo
I'm just
hacer,
stuck.
qué
I don't
más
know what
tengo que
I have
hacer,
to do, what
algo
else I
más
need to
de,
do.
o
If
falta que
it's
yo pueda crecer
or do I
personalmente
need to
para
grow
que las
personally
personas me miren
for
en el
people to
negocio.
look at me
O no sé,
in the
estoy un
business?
poco
I
perdida
don't
en
know.
eso,
I'm a bit
pero quiero
lost
avanzar y no
in
puedo.
that, but I want to
Ese
move
es mi
forward and I
pensamiento.
can't.
Mi
That
miedo
is
también de
my
decir o de
fear.
dejar. Tú hablaste hace un momento en
You
que
spoke
peor es
about
dejar,
how it's
arrepentirnos
worse
y regresar.
to
Y nos vamos a arrepentir toda
not
la
do
vida. Y no
something
quiero
because we're
arrepentirme de
going
lo
to
que estoy
regret it
haciendo
our
hasta
whole
ahora,
life. And
sino
I don't
quiero
want to
avanzar,
regret
seguir
not
y
moving
lograr la
forward. I
meta que yo
want to
quiero.
move forward and I want to reach my goals.
So Rita, where are you stuck exactly? Tell me, be specific with me. Like, what do you feel like you're stuck in the business? You're stuck moving the business forward, talking about the business. What are you stuck on?
En el negocio
In the business
específicamente.
specifically,
En el
yes,
negocio.
in the
Okay, so
business.
Estoy
you're
avanzando,
where and
pero
where do
I'm
you what do you think is holding you back?
no llegan las personas
the
correctas,
correct
a
people
pesar de
don't
que estoy haciendo
arrive,
lo que estoy
even though
haciendo,
I'm
pero
doing
no
what I
llegan las
have to do,
personas
but I
correctas.
don't get the correct people.
And again, I'm just asking questions, Rita, because I like to ask questions because I like to bring you back to the answer yourself. Okay, so this is the reason that I ask questions of you. Okay, so when you say how many people would you say that you're talking to every single day?
Mm, buena pregunta.
That's a good question.
No estoy hablando con muchas
I'm not
personas,
speaking
la
to a
verdad.
lot of people,
No soy de
truthfully.
las
I
personas que
am
llama
not
todo el
one of
tiempo,
those that
solamente me
call
baso en
every
redes
day.
sociales.
I'm just in
Eso es lo
social
que estoy
media.
haciendo y
That's
así
what
he
I'm
llegado a
doing,
algunas
and
pocas
that's how
personas,
I've been able to
no
get to
como lo que
some
yo quisiera
people,
llegar.
but not how I would
Okay.
like.
So that's one vehicle. Okay. Why do you not talk to more people?
No conozco mucho
I
acá.
don't know a lot
No
of
tengo
people
muchos
here
amigos
yet.
y
I don't
no
have a lot
tengo
of
familiares
friends. I
acá.
don't have
Entonces,
family here.
no sé
So
por
I
dónde
Where do
don't
you
podría.
live?
know.
Yo vivo en
I
Maryland,
live in Maryland,
Okay. Um, where in Maryland?
Glen Burnie,
Glen Burnie,
And where is that close to?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Okay. I'm just gonna do something for you, okay? So the population of Glen Burnie, Maryland is 72,772 people, okay? And you're close to Washington, D.C., right? and the population of Washington, D.C. is 700,000 people. Okay. So within your neighborhood, you've probably got over 1 million people in your neighborhood, right? Where you could go out and access to. And the only reason I say this is because there's a lot of people out there. And, Rita, you have a very sweet personality, and no one's going to be offended by you going up and talking to them and having a conversation with them. You could go sit at a coffee shop. You could go do a trial at a gym one day and work out and just sit there and talk to 5 or 6 people. Also, if you're on social media, if you go to, and this is for everybody, if you go to um, dsn.com, okay, direct selling news, and ask for the top 100 direct sales companies. They're going to give you lists of the 100 top companies. And you can reach out, you can go on social media, on Instagram, and you can put in the search bar that company name, and it's going to give you reps that are in that business, right? And you can reach out to those reps, and you can say to those reps, not you have an opportunity for them, but I want to hear about your opportunity. I've been watching you on social media. I'd love to hear about what you're doing. Okay. When you get on the phone with that person, right, and they're gonna try to, because if someone reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I'd love to hear about LifeWave and join your team," what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a call pretty quickly with that person, right? You're gonna be pretty excited. Here's a prospect. I have someone to talk to, right? So you're gonna just listen to that person, and they're gonna talk about what they're doing, and then they're gonna say, "Rita, what do you do?" And you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm in the direct sales channel. I'm with LifeWave." Amazing company. I'm just looking to add another stream of income. So what you do interests me because it kind of ties well with what I'm doing, and I like to offer that to all my downline and my friends, right? And the point is, you guys, the only reason I'm saying this, Rita, is you got to get into more conversations. If you're going to build and I will tell you why you don't get more conversations, Rita. I can feel your energy. You don't believe in yourself enough that you could go out and talk to someone and they're going to believe you and they're going to sign up with you because you think, I got to do more self-development and I got to get better. Well, that's BS. It's BS. And the reason I'm looking over here is because I'm looking right at you right now, Rita. This is where you are. Like when I'm training, I'm always looking around. You see my eyes bopping because I'm always looking at people on the call. And so, Rita, you have to get over that story that you're telling yourself that you don't deserve it and that you're not good enough because you are great enough to do exactly what you want to do in this business. All it is a numbers game. The number one reason that businesses fail is because of leads. They don't have enough leads coming in. That's why marketing is a college education 4-year degree, is because to learn how to market and get more customers. And all you have to do is go out and talk to people. And if you go up to somebody, I guarantee you, Rita, with your personality, you're going to be like a ninja. People are going to listen to you. But you have to have your commercial ready when they say, "What are you doing?" Right? So to get into the conversation, most people in this business make a really, really big mistake. They want to talk about what they do right away. They want to talk about how amazing the patch is. They want to talk about how amazing the business is. They want to get in this conversation and people feel like they're being sold to. But if you get into a conversation just genuinely wanting to meet somebody, like open the conversation with, they're on their laptop. "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And then just let the conversation evolve. Just like the guy next to me that was a heroin addict. I mean, I found out he was a heroin addict within 30 seconds because I was asking questions. Right. And then so we connected and we both got off the flight. We're like, we never talked to anybody on flights. And now I've talked to this guy that's probably going to become a potential business partner and with LifeWave because he has a lot of people that he's in rehabs, and this patch will help people in rehab. It's going to help them feel amazing. He's going to be able to offer this to all of his people, the Eon, that's going to help them get through everything that they're going through. So the main thing you have to do, Rita, is you got to stop telling yourself this story that I need to get better before I build a business, because that's not true. You're going to get better while you're building the business. You're going to get better by talking to more people. You're going to get better by practicing. That's how we get better. It's not like I got to work on myself more to get better. You have what it takes already. The only thing you don't have is you got rid of that voice. Because the first thing you said to me is, I got to get better. I think I got to personally get better. My business is not where it wants to be. Okay, cool. What are you doing? Now, let me ask you one more question, Rita. How long you been doing this?
Un año ya
1 year
estoy en LifeWave.
in
One
LifeWave.
year. Man, that's a long time. That's not a long time. 1 year, new business, new product, new everything. That's the thing. We are such a society of immediate results that we think a year is a long time. Because you know what you're doing, Rita? You're comparing yourself to other people. Well, they did it in a year. They're making this in a year. I should be there. That's a really big mistake because you're not me. You're not Ron. You're not Raquel. You're not anybody. You have a different network. And if you look in the mirror and take a hard look in the mirror and say, have I done everything that it really takes to build this business in the last year, or have I been half in trying to figure it out? And yeah, it's going, is it going to work? Am I afraid to talk about it? Are people going to think I'm crazy? I've been all in. From the very moment that I got my transformation, I was all in. Every day, every moment, I'm all in. And that's the difference is you have to go all in on this, Rita. And no matter what, if people shoot you down, if they think you're crazy, which 80% of people are going to, you have to have the conviction that they have no idea what they're talking about and that they're missing out because I'm going to build this. So after 5 years, if you're still feeling exactly like you feel right now, and you can look in that mirror and you could say to yourself, I gave it everything I had, then you can be discouraged. But I can't give you the permission to be discouraged yet, Rita. This last year has been a learning process for you. It's been a learning process. You're just learning. That's okay. I mean, we go to college for 4 years and then we go get a job that pays us nothing. You've been doing this a year. We go to school for 12 years. 12. And we get out of high school and we can't get a job. And you're saying after a year you should be better. But you know what? You're showing up, Rita. And that's what it's going to take. Just stay consistent. Monica, thank you, Rita, for sharing. You're awesome for breaking the ice with this. I really, really appreciate it. Monica.
Okay, number one, thank you so much for, oh, you know what? I have two things here. One second. Thank you so much for being so patient and great with us here. The morning routine changed my life completely. I did not meet personally with Tony Robbins, but I did some of his programs and I never followed through. And somehow something clicked when you explained your own personal morning routine. And it has been amazing for the past 45 when I started the 90-day massive action plan. But I went on vacation, which I am still on vacation, and something happened. Everything got messed up. My sleep cycle has been my problem. That's actually how I met X39. Well, for other reasons, but X39 changed my life because of my sleep cycle. But my disorder, I label it as severe because I could not sleep at all at night. So if you don't sleep, how are you going to live? So I thought, like I felt, like you said, like a ninja after my morning routine started being so precise and perfect. I started doing my morning light, which I was not doing because the patch was doing everything for me until I messed up the use of my phone at night, etc. So if you have a personal advice, because I'm struggling for the past 10 days that I've been on vacation, I have a lot of personal stuff going on, but I lost my routine. So right now, struggling terribly. So if you have a tip for that, number one.
So
Number two,
I would say in your situation,
give me
Monica,
1 second. Okay.
is the nightly routine is really critical for your sleep. Like getting blue light glasses on Amazon, and putting them on at 7, not eating after 7, not looking at your phone after 7. I know it's really hard in your business, but you gotta just like, you gotta have, my attitude with my phone is this. I'm with my family, they're with me at night. So if there's a 911 emergency, you need to call an ambulance, a police officer, or a fire truck because I'm not either of those three and I can't help you. Okay. I'll be able to deal with whatever's happening with you in the morning. Right. So if it's a friend or something going on, like there's nothing I can do in the moment anyways, because I'm not a rescue or anything. So my point to that is there's nothing 911 that's happening after 7 p.m. at night besides my family, and my routine. Okay. So that's the first thing. If you could change that routine at night, that's going to help you get more sleep. Vacation is a little bit of a struggle when you're starting this, okay? Because you're waking up later, you're going to bed later, like you have a different agenda. Maybe you're doing something in the morning with friends. Like, for example, last week when I was with, my friends, we played golf at 7 a.m., right? So I'm not waking up on vacation at 5 a.m. to do my hour reading and all that. So I would do it when I got home. I still did my reading, I still did my meditation, I still did all that. So it just moves. So for me, I don't necessarily love vacation because it throws me off my routine. I'm most happy on my routine. So if you're on vacation, I give myself a little bit of leniency, right? But I also don't feel as good on vacation, right? You're supposed to feel good on vacation, but I also don't feel as great on vacation because I'm missing that routine. I'm missing my diet. I'm missing my, go to bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, wake up in the morning and do that. So but then you just again, this is a mental adjustment and managing your mind to realize, okay, you know what? This is just going to be about rest. And because you could also screw yourself up psychologically if you're so focused on, I'm not doing my routine. So you can vacation from your routine. But when you get back home, you just got to get back into it. It's dangerous though, right? So a lot of people that stop working out for a week or two, it's really hard for them to get back into the working out. Or if they're on a certain diet and they go on vacation, it's hard for them to get back into that diet. But that's where this comes into play. So you just got to say, I'm committed to doing this. And in that way, you can give yourself a break psychologically when you're on vacation. Because, I mean, imagine if everyone's doing something and you're like, nope, I got to get my morning light and I got to ground, and I got to go to the gym. I got to, I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't do that to my family, Now, when I'm home, everyone understands, like this is my routine because everyone has a routine. My daughters wake up in the morning, they have their routine. I have my routine. My wife has her routine. So I would just say, everyone on here, give yourself a little bit of a break. But 90% of the time, you need to be in that routine if it's really, really important to you. And it is for me, because I know it makes me a better version of me when I do it. But for you, Monica, the nightly routine, I would say I mean, mine are both important because sleep is everything. A book you guys should pick up, especially being in this wellness world that we're in, is called Outlive. Um, it is it is a remarkable, remarkable book. It's by Peter Attia. It's a little bit of a thick book, but it's really, 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 really good. It talks about the four killers, the cancers, the Alzheimer's, the heart attacks, the diabetes, the four, they call them the four horsemen that actually take us down. And he kind of just talks about how to prevent those, but also just like, the things that are important that in our life. So the biggest thing he talks about in our life, and I'll move on, Monica, is there's medical 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. And 1.0 was really just research when doctors didn't really know anything, 60, 70 years ago. 2.0 is when they started learning, but they were just treating sicknesses, like when people would get sick. And now it's all about preventative medicine. So all the things that we talked about in morning routine and the patch and supplements and, not eating sugar and, making sure that you're eating the right foods, organic, and you're not eating processed foods. So all of that's now, like, there's this big woke community that people are talking about actual, how can we prevent sicknesses from happening? How can we prevent heart attacks? How can we prevent diabetes? How can we prevent cancer? How we could prevent Alzheimer's? So it's a really good book because, this patch, the reason we called our team the Wellness Revolution is because I really want to revolutionize wellness for people and educate people. And the patch is part of it, right? The patch is an amazing device. But if you're doing a lot of other right things in your life, the device will work even better. And it's going to give you even more longevity, and you're going to live healthier. And so what he talks about is, people are living longer, but they're definitely not living longer healthy. We want people to live longer healthy, right? So like you don't want to be 70 years old and sick, in the next 10 years, somebody's taking care of you, or the next 15 years. So that's kind of what the book is, outlive but live healthy. So I hope that answers your question, Monica. I would just, give yourself a little bit of a break. I know how hard you are on yourself. And I think it's a great attribute to have, but it also, and this is for everyone on here, it's a great attribute to have to be hard on yourself, but sometimes you got to give yourself a little bit of a break, but not too
I
much.
got it. Thank you. I know.
Ron,
Thank you. You did
thank
answer
you for
your
sharing,
question.
Monica.
Really quick, could you put the link of your glasses? I think I'm researching for another one. I just want to check yours too because I'm about to buy them and I just wanted to check when you can.
Yeah,
Internal
Lola,
or
can you do me a favor while I'm answering or while I'm working with Ron and then I close up? Can you look into my Amazon account and there are a couple pairs of in my Amazon account that I bought probably 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And can you share that link in the chat? I mean, I actually I don't know if they're here.
thank
I
you so
got
much.
You're
I love
welcome.
them. I you stopped using them. I thought they were super cool.
No, I didn't stop
Actually.
using them. I put them on at 7 o'clock.
Ah,
Um,
okay, okay.
These I got from Whoop. These are the ones I keep. So they're in my office because I put them on right at 7 o'clock. These are the ones that I wear. And I wear them out to dinner on date night because I want to get good sleep. Sleep is everything, and this help. I mean, there's blue light everywhere. So everywhere you go, there's blue light. I mean, in
So you
house
wear them
lights,
not
everywhere is blue
just
light.
so you wear
What's
them not
that?
just for the computer. You wear them not just for the computer, but
No,
for
they go on at 7 p.m. and they stay on until I go to sleep. Because there's blue light everywhere in your house. Your lights in your house, it's not just televisions and computers, it's every light is a blue light. So when you're stimulating your eyeballs, you're not getting into your circadian rhythm. So the sun sets typically between 7 and 8, right? I mean, now it's later because it's summer, and the sun rises typically at 5:30 and 6. So if we were living outside like we used to, we would go to sleep with the sun and wake up with the sun. That's kind of like how people rest, right? So this just kind of tricks your mind into feeling like, the sun is down, there's no blue light coming in, I'm getting into rest mode. My phone goes off because I don't want to look at my phone and be worried about emails or things that I'm going to handle tomorrow anyways. I'm not going to handle it now, right? My phone goes into to do not disturb. In 2 minutes, it's going to go into do not disturb. So my phone won't ring. I won't be notified by text messages or anything. So and the only person that can, call me or text me is my wife, but I'm usually with her. But if she's not with me, I have her where she can come through and she can ring through. But nobody else, because there's no reason for me to talk to anybody else after 7 p.m. I
got it.
literally,
Thank you
guys, I
so
work from 11 to 7. Those are my working hours. My morning is mine. I start working at 11 o'clock after I take a shower and eat. And then I work from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's 8 hours, but I work efficiently. I work off of the calendar. I'm very, very focused. And I don't eat, I don't go eat lunch. I eat lunch at my desk, so 8 hours, I'm working solid, in those 8 hours. And I get done and I work 4 days a week. So, and then Fridays, if I get everything done, I play golf on Friday. That's my reward for my mental health. And then usually after golf, I'll finish around 12:30, and I'll come home and work for 3 or 4 hours, and then it's my kids and wife time.
got
It
it.
can be
Thank you
done,
so
you
much.
guys. I promise you. You don't have to work 12 hours a day to make this business grow. You can do it that way, but you just have to be very, very planned. Ron.
Jay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's not quite evening out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I know it's 3 o'clock. No, 4 o'clock out there, right?
Right. But anyway, I think the thing that really set me off, on the correct path, this 90-day challenge, is when you said to me, and when I answered your question half correct and half wrong about expectations. That to me was massive and powerful. I said that I had basically that half wrong was my expectations with my wife, and you said wrong-o. And so by making that just slice or that razor blade adjustment has actually really helped with how I view my life wave prospects. If, I'm not into chasing people. What I'm into is being aligned with them. And if my beautiful words cannot make an impact once, twice, depends what the relationship is, then I put them in a whole different column. And so that was very powerful with me. And especially to, understand that, I'm the one that I need to have the expectations for, and people I pay money to. So
Yeah.
with
And
that,
living into your own expectations.
Yes. And then failure is data. My background has been in corporate institutional consulting, and failure becomes something that you're constantly almost re-inoculating yourself with. And so I've learned that it's, how magical is that? It's not mysterious, but it's data. And so that really, really helped. Recently, I had mentioned to you that Kim had back in mid-April, right rotator cuff surgery. And I said, and she wanted to recover at our country home in the Santa Cruz Mountains, which is about 75 miles south of San Francisco. And I said, how am I going to do this? I mean, we're up there. I mean, we have a community of people. How am I going to take care of LifeWave? How am I going to rebrand my business? How am I going to do this in the midst of this really intense caregiving? I mean, I was sleeping in our fireside room on the couch while she was in her chair first night for the first 11 days. But you want to know, I did it. And what it did is it compressed that level of consistency that I had to make life happen, from dishes to grocery. I mean, I had my goddaughter look in on us and I kind of tasked her with things. But from that particular standpoint, and guess what? After 13 weeks, I've rebranded my entire business. I've made it and it's aligned. And now I've gone from the infrastructure to now scale, share, sales, leadership.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ron.
And I'm having
Ron and
still having-
Raquel. Wait,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm still having trouble. This is where I'm my little piece here. I don't live in a perfect world. I'm still having trouble fitting my day into the 4-quarter scheme. I mean, I can go 2 quarters. I know. I can go 2 quarters solid. It's either first quarter, fourth quarter, second, third, or whatever interchange you want to make. But I'm having trouble. And then I can't catch up with that the next day. So I don't know what the mindset is. And that's where I know if I can get that in alignment, get it in gear without stripping out the gears along the way, putting it into gear, I think, I will have, 99% of the games.
And we could talk about this next week if this is it. But what I'll tell everybody on here is this. So, when you watch a football game or a basketball game, I'm gonna bring it back to that. Okay.
Right.
So when someone loses, they go back to the tape and they figure out what they did wrong. Right. And so a lot of times what we did is we put too much in one day. And we're not planning correctly. So we're overzealous in our planning, and we're not planning correctly in that day and making sure that we're sticking to the plan.
Right.
And so we're ran by our day and not running our day. So when things come up, we're not saying no to the right things. We're saying yes to everything. And so then it takes us off the path that we need to go, because again, we're not living into what the plan is. So that's what you have to really, really focus on. And so that's why it's really, really important to evaluate every quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, hey, I did really, really well. And then in that 15-minute window, so I usually, go an hour and 45 minutes, 15 minutes before the next quarter starts to start, I'm looking at, okay, am I on pace? Am I on track? If not, then I've got to adjust. And so if something comes up, my wife needs something, my kids need something, someone's calling me for a meeting, it's an absolute no, I can't do it because I'm behind and I need to make sure that I accomplish this. So we're going to win some days and we're going to lose some days, but if we're paying attention to the day, we're going to win more than we lose. And so in football and in basketball, you don't have to win every quarter. You just have to win most of the quarters or be ahead by slight in some of the quarters. And if not, then you got to, at the end of the day, at 6:45, I sit down and I say, okay, where did the day go wrong? What can I do tomorrow to get better? And then maybe tomorrow. And you might have a losing season, which to me, a losing season is a month, right? A month is a season for me. I play seasons. I have 12 seasons every year. And so I'm looking at how I'm improving and getting better. So it's not a perfect science, Ron, like when you first start doing it. The fact that you're even doing it is going to make everything better, I promise. And you're gamifying it. The only thing you have to be careful with, Ron, is if you're losing too many days, you can't get down on yourself, right? So it can't discourage you. And that's what most people, they get discouraged because this is a thing. What you track and measure is what you can affect and change.
Right.
And so when you know that I can affect and change what I'm tracking and measuring, all that data, all that failure is a good thing. So now I can adjust tomorrow and see. And so this is the other thing. Everything in my day, I do all the hard stuff first because I know that's when my mind is the sharpest. I'm going to do everything. My first quarter is my hardest shit that I got to get done that day. My last quarter is going to be the easiest stuff I got to do that day because more than likely stuff's going to come up because first quarter, second quarter, third quarter has created stuff that's going to get in the way. But what I'm going to do, if it can wait I'm going to plan it in my day tomorrow. So if stuff came up in second, third quarter, I'm going to plan that for tomorrow. That's cool. I'll tell people that's great. You know what? But I'll get back to you tomorrow at like 1 o'clock. Does that work for you? Oh, no, two works better. Okay, great. So that's going to go in my quarter that day instead of me trying to do it today. Because this is the thing. We live and react to everyone because we're people pleasers. I know that's how you are, Ron. So if someone needs something, it's like, let me just handle that for you right now. But I'm busy. I got meetings, I have this going on. I have, I have no time in my day. And no one's going to be mad at that. Are you ever mad at someone says, hey, I can't, I can meet with you tomorrow, or I can meet with you Thursday?
Oh.
No. So if it's Tuesday and you know tomorrow is going to be jammed up because you're behind today, I can't meet with you till Thursday. So it's all about meeting, and then you're setting expectations for people, right? Listen, man, I am freaking slammed. I got, and you don't have to tell people what you got to do. I'm slammed. The first availability I have is at 3 o'clock tomorrow. How does that work for you? Oh, it doesn't work for me. Okay. What about Monday? Oh, I'd really like to meet with you on Thursday. Oh, the only thing I have available is 3. And you got to stick to that because if not, then you're screwing everything up in your day, in your life. And so we can't react. We can never be reactive. You got to always be proactive, and you're in control of the day. What happens most of the time is the day controls people because you're not committed to, I'm going to get these things done. And when something comes up, it's like, I know how nice you are, Ron. It's like, yeah, I can do that. And that thing in your head that you think is going to take 15 minutes takes an hour. And now all of a sudden you're way behind your day. So I would just say that's how you have to manage the day. But and again, at 6:45, I'm planning tomorrow's 4 quarters. So I look at my calendar and I'm like, okay, I didn't get this done today. This is going in second quarter. This is going in first quarter. This is going in third quarter. I'm going to get it done tomorrow. And if not, then it's just going to move to the next day. But if I've made a commitment to somebody, no matter what, I'm hitting that commitment. That's going to be the first thing that I do that next day. Because I do not want to, I don't want to be that guy that people are like, yeah, you're going to get to it. Yeah, I've heard this before. So, and we'll talk more about it if this is it. I know you want to meet with their, I don't know what the schedule is going to be, but we'll find time to get together. There's going to be plenty of time at night and stuff to get together. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I do want to share something with you really, really quick that I'm really excited about. We are very, very, very close on our website that we've created. It's going to be a resource for every single person, all your team members. Literally, they're going to be able to go to the website and they're going to have everything they need to do to launch their business. And we also are very close on our school platform that's going to take people from start to finish in this business. And we're going to have a lot of people that are going to be doing some of the training on there with us. Jimena's doing Spanish, I'm doing English. We have everyone that's going to be teaching Spanish, like Rochelle and Carlos and Ralph and Monica, Mike and Saeed. We have a lot of people that are finishing up their content. But I promise you, maybe Justin will give us a sneak peek if he has it up of just like their page, some of the stuff that's on there. I'll show you guys. You guys will be the first to see it. It's not finished. We're in the process. Justin, you can tell me yay or nay. I'm just excited to share with our team members, but it's going to be really, really good for you guys. We built this. We spent a lot of time on it. It's been 3 months in the making, a lot of money on this, but it's going to help you guys tremendously. So yeah, show it really quick, Justin. So this is going to be our website. So like when people come in and they want to onboard, all the stuff that they need, all the videos that they need to get started. So when someone starts the business, or if they want to use it, there's nothing on here with sales. There's no links on here for Jimena and I. This is just a resource website that they cannot get to anything inside of our office besides if someone wants to know about the business, about LifeWave. So there's an onboarding tab. Scroll up, Justin, if you want. These are just placeholders. These videos, these are not all the videos. These are just we're working in the studio tomorrow and next week to finish everything up. But these are going to be all the events. The 90-day challenge is going to live on here. All the documents that you're going to need. So if you look at school at the top, they're going to be able to log into school from here. The comp plan, the new comp plan is going to be on here, broken down into small videos so people understand that. Testimonials, our wellness regimen, all the stuff that I've taught in the 90-day, all the supplements that I take, the diets, and then as well as in all the resource documents that anybody would need to launch their business, as well as editable where you could put your stuff on it and change it out. This is all going to be finished in probably, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks, for all of you guys to use this as a resource for your team so that when you enroll people, they all have this as well. So really, really excited about this. This is going to be something that's going to be very, very helpful for everyone here and your teams because I knew when I come in, I didn't have all this. So I want it when someone launches that you're going to give them the wellnessrev.org and they're going to be able to go in there and know how to onboard, how to do a presentation call, all the things that they need. So, Justin, thanks for showing that real quick. Really, really, this is the school that we're going to have. So, listen, this is what I want to talk to you guys about, right? So, 8 weeks, the most important thing we have to do is execute. And the question that I always ask people that go through this at the very end is, what are you going to do with all this? You know, Monica said she implemented morning routine, which really excites me because when people really do it and they start to feel how it's changing them in their life, and then they get away from it, they're like, oh my God, I feel weird, like I'm not doing this. You guys have two choices. You can let this training sit in your notes and slowly fade away, right? Which is what the majority of people do. Or you guys can step out of this room or out of this training that you guys are watching later on like a seasoned champion. I mean, I've always been asked this question, Jay, why do you share all these things? Why do you tell everyone, you know, in the insurance business, I told everyone everything that I did. And everyone was like, why? I mean, you're going to create competition. And this is what I know. And this is a challenge for you guys. There's going to be only about 3% of you guys on this call that are going to actually do something. And that's what I know about everyone that I tell. Only 3% of people are going to execute. And my challenge is, let's move that number up. Look at all the books behind me. Look at all the books at Barnes & Nobles. Look at all the books that sold on Amazon. There's so much information and so much data out there for people to learn, but people never execute. You read a book that's 270 pages. It's a guy that's got 40 years of experience that's teaching you everything not to do and what to do, and people don't execute on it. You guys don't need more motivation. You guys need activation. You need an action, just a massive action plan. And I gave it to you. You've got the framework, you got the beliefs, you got the tools, you got the examples, you got the habits, you got the clarity, you got the identity, you've got the blueprint of an elite performer. And listen, guys, I didn't create this. I stole all of this. I stole everything from all these books that I've read. I stole every single thing. I've just executed and implemented. So you need to wake up tomorrow and move like a high performer, like a champion. And here's how you execute. You revisit your daily. You revisit it daily. What are you going to do? Make it emotional. Read it every morning until it burns into your being. Track your GPA, track your goals, track your plan, track your actions. What Ron I was just talking about. What are your actions every day? Look in the mirror. Am I executing? Am I implementing? I know it's work. I know it's hard. Review what matters and measure your alignment. What you track and measure, you affect and change. That's why I wear a Whoop. It tracks everything in my body. Create your GPS, your growth plan strategy. What am I reading? What are you guys reading every day? What are you putting in your brain? What are you listening to? Who am I surrounding myself with? What's the next uncomfortable move you're going to make? Make it now. Do a video tonight talking about the business. Most people are uncomfortable with that. Do it. I want you to run with intensity. I want you to 10x your actions. I want your old self to disappear. And I want the new self to come forward. Not because you're desperate, because you're aligned now. I want you to celebrate micro wins. You don't have to, hit all your goals that you want to do in your life in a year. Because when you have micro wins, you start to stack belief, you stack energy, you stack progress. I want you to be reborn into a new version of you. The version that's unstoppable, the version that builds empires, the version that changes family trees. That's what's possible. I've changed my family tree. The version that makes history. Steve Jobs said it. The people that change history are the people crazy enough to think they can. Go be the proof. Go take what's rightfully yours. You didn't just attend a training, you guys. You just installed a new operating system. And that's what you got to think about. This was never about what you could learn, you guys. It's not about what I could teach you. It's about who you guys could become. Because the world does not respond to what you know. It responds to who you are. That energy, that vibration, when you walk in a room. That's what it's going to respond to. Rita, you got more, girl. Walk in a room like you have it. Fake it till you make it. They're going to respond to how you show up, how you think, how you lead, how you move, and how you move, especially when nobody is watching. So today I challenge you, be relentless in your follow through. Live louder than your fear. Turn every single failure into fuel. And build a life that demands a legacy. You guys have the blueprint. Now it's time to build. Because at the end of the day, success does not go to the smartest person. I promise you. Not that. Not the smartest person. Or the loudest. Or even the most talented. It goes to the most committed person. So let's go make history. Change history of your family. Change history of your life. Just have your kids watch you do something that they never thought possible. And my biggest goal in all this training was to show you guys you have something inside of you that didn't even know was possible. Let's go do the work. Let's put the work in. Let's be consistent. Let's do something special. And thank you guys for your time. The precious, precious, precious commodity of your time I'm so grateful for. I don't take lightly because time is precious. You guys could be sitting with your kids. You could be doing something else, but you're sitting here with me tonight and 7 other nights. I thank you for doing it. And I love working with all of you. I can't wait to meet you guys. If I haven't met you in person one day, I've met a lot of you on here, but I'd love to meet the rest of you. Have a great, great night. And we're going to continue to train. This is, every Wednesday we're going to have training. We're going to do stuff on Thursday. So thank you guys. Have a great night. Love y'all. Sleep well.
Gracias, buenas noches.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Gracias.
Thank you.